So first thing we need to do is show you guys how we make sofrito. And then we're gonna prep our food. So I have this huge pan here that I'm going to be making my pernil in. I'm gonna be making pernil, which is a pork shoulder butt. It's right here, this little guy. I've been letting it thaw out for a couple days. It might still be frozen on the interior. We're gonna cut it open and find out. It doesn't matter because it's gonna marinate for another day. And then I'll be cooking it tomorrow. But let me show you how we do the sofrito thing. I don't have any cilantro, so don't judge me. I gotta make it in a different container. I'm gonna make it in this bowl. Boom, boom. And let's move the tripod on over so you guys can see what that looks like. So we'll fix the angle of the camera. Sorry for all the rocking. Here we go. So now, sofrito is usually fresh and you cut it up and you do all these things. I don't have all the ingredients. So I'm gonna show you how you do it as a single man in your life, in your world. So the first thing you do is you go and buy sofrito like this. This is your cooking base. Now, I'll never just use this sofrito here. That's some paste picante stuff going on. That's not what we're doing, but it is the base of what we're doing. So just do the whole jar. You have to freeze some of it and keep it. 1 second, let me get a spoon. I want a small spoon so we can reach in there. My dog smells it. Yes, it smells good, it tastes good, but this isn't good enough. This is, you'll see people just use this right here, this little, the Goya products. This ain't gonna cut it, bro. So we gotta make it our own. I have a habit of licking the spoon. Then next, right here, this is your cilantro base. So since I didn't buy fresh cilantro, this is what you get. Same concept, we're putting it in here. And we're making our sofrito this way. Get it all out. We are gonna get a little messy. Make sure we got it all. Man, trying to get to the base, to the bottom. Baby girl is right at my feet. If you guys can't see her, you probably can't see her. Ash is trying to eat anything that falls. She acts like I don't feed her. She's rubbing her legs up against me. So we mix these two bases together. This is the base of our sofrito here. Excuse me, I spilled some on the counter. Good thing I have these granite countertops. So, next thing you're gonna do, shout out to everybody. Sorry if I'm not reading your chat or responding to your chat. If you write it and I see it during live, I'll catch it. I'll catch up in comments when I can. We're making our sofrito right now. Next thing you want to do is use garlic powder. I don't like to use any salts. So no garlic salt, just garlic powder. Just put enough in. Usually when I'm making the food, I'll actually grab actual garlic cloves. This is cumin. I only use a little bit, not much, just to add color to it. It does have a very distinct flavor to it, but I don't use nearly as much as I do in other toppings. Sazon total. I'm running out of it. It's not my favorite. I add a lot of it to my rice. But there you go. And then these little packets of sazon here. Usually I use 1 packet for like 6 pieces of chicken. Or for like, I use 1 packet for maybe pork chops, something like that. But when I'm making sofrito, because I'm gonna add a spoon of this. You want it super concentrated, and I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of sofrito to everything I make, you know, over the next couple of weeks. I usually add at least 6 packs. So this will make all your food turn orange. This is gonna give it that orange-red color, or flavor and color. But I swear by it, okay? I swear by sazon. You can buy all the different flavors you want, but this is where it's at. So I'm putting 6 packs of this in here. So it is just a huge concoction of spices, concentrated spices. And like I said, usually you're chopping up and making it very chunky from a bell pepper, or I'm sorry, a red pepper, a green pepper, cilantro and all this stuff, but I don't have everything. But I have enough with just the two bases alone. They substitute everything. So this is where I'm at. And before I mix it, I'll check. Here, chat. Sorry. Oh, all I got is a hay. That's cool. So now we mix it from here. And it's going to turn red. And that's mainly from the base and the flavors that I've sent. So we're going to keep doing this. This is perfect. And it already smells amazing. Now, some people like green. Some people like their sofrito green. I like mine red and chunky. And then I'm going to lather it. I'm going to lather the meat into it. So there it is. It's all good to go. And if you want to preserve it, you add olive oil to it. Just so you guys are aware. If you want to preserve your sofrito, you add olive oil. All right, and we're all set. And let me tell you guys, this already smells amazing. It already smells second to none. So, here's our tray. We're gonna move over our pork shoulder butt. Bought this from Costco. They come two in a package. I didn't read what you said. I'm so sorry. Let me try to see if I can get to it. Trying. It says, what's the occasion? Easter? No. You're not judging me for not having cilantro. No, this is not. The occasion is I want to make food. That's it. There's no special occasion. I just feel like eating good. So I'm going to eat good. So here's the pork shoulder butt. Like I said, bought it from Costco. It came in two in the package. I already made one. So this is my second one. Usually when you do the pork shoulder butt, this one doesn't have a bone in it. What you're looking for is the flap, and I call it the flap. It's this fold over part. So what I do is I fold it open, and I want to be able to get to all of it. So I'm going to take a big knife, and I'm going to cut this flap open just a little bit more. And then I stab it, and I put holes in it. And I put the holes so the sofrito can go on the inside so you can flavor it properly. So I'm stabbing it, the base of it. And then I'm going to flip this back over, and I'm going to stab the top part as well. Just like that. All right, and this looks like a really healthy piece of meat. I really like all the fat and everything on it. So I lay it open, like it's filleted open. And from here, all you're going to do is take your sofrito and you're going to start scooping it in. Now, I have another batch that I'm going to use because I want to run out of this other batch first. So bear with me. This other batch is a little older. I'm probably going to throw it away. This is how you know when your sofrito's not good. I don't know if you guys can tell, but the colors, one's really red and fresh, and look at this one, it's terrible. So I'm throwing this out. I'm not gonna use it. I'm not gonna eat it. It's not worth it. So that's even been thrown away. I'm even throwing away the bowl. So, back to what we're doing here. We have the fresh one. We're gonna pour it on. And then once I do a good amount, remember it's very concentrated. It's very concentrated. You take it and you just start rubbing it in. Rub it into the meat. And you want to leave no part of the meat untouched. You want it all rubbed in. You're going to let this marinate overnight anyways. But that was a very good amount. Just keep massaging it into all the little cracks and crevices. Rubbing it, and then it's in the tray itself, so I'm going to take it and move it around so it gets to the bottom of it. I'm only trying to use one hand because I don't want to dirty up my second hand. You can take this, put it on top, grab a little bit extra, and just keep rubbing it in. I know people wear gloves and all that stuff. I'm not, dude, that's not me, bro. I'm just a Mexican kid with no resources. I don't own gloves for all that crap. So, it's now lathered in sofrito, which is perfect. Just for giggles. Yeah, it's pernil. Oh, somebody asked, what is it? My bad. I must have missed that. Oh, by the way. So it's lathered in this. My hand is covered in the spices. What I'm gonna do next is something some people don't know what to do here. I'm gonna do it. I'm trying to get this off my hand. There's no chance. It's delicious. I probably shouldn't have did that. I have like raw pork juice on my hand. I just licked my fingers. Watch me get an upset stomach from that. That'd be hilarious. All right. So, next thing's next. I'm going to add just a light layer of adobo. It's just to put it on there. Don't worry. There's a ton of spices already in it. And then the flap, remember I flap it open. I'm gonna flip it open. Well, I don't wanna use my hand again, I just washed them. And then I'm gonna flip it open, I'm gonna light layer it again. No big deal. Boom, boom, boom. And then I'm gonna do something none of y'all do. And I'm gonna use some mojo, which I will be soaking this meat in. And the reason for that is it will, when I cook it at a low heat, you guys will see. All right, so let me show you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So there's this marinade you can buy for all you Caucasian folk. It's right here. Okay? Mojo Crio. I take it and I just pour it in. And I'm not even trying to pour it on the meat itself. It's going to get to the meat when it heats. Because I'm going to cover this with foil. And when I'm cooking it at a low heat, it will like start to do this convection process. And this will be drizzling on top of it. Think of the water cycle. And that's what happens. So when I cook my food, it comes out extremely, I guess nobody likes to say the M word, but it comes out moist. So when the last little bit, putting it on top, boom, 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 just like that. All right, so now we've prepped the meat, and we're gonna let it sit for 24 hours in the fridge. So here's what we do next, because I'm gonna cook it for 6 hours at a very low heat. So what we do next is keep our kitchen clean. Putting a top on the sofrito. Airlock tight containers. Shout out to one of my followers, the beautiful Kim. She bought these containers. It just preserves all your stuff. Next thing I do is take some foil. Usually I'd put little garlic cloves in here, but I don't actually need to do that. And I'm gonna only do half the tray right now with this foil, and then I'm gonna do the other half on the other side, because you can't cover the whole thing, and I don't want air gaps. So I will go one way and pretend that it's going to break. There we go. We'll get the edge here, and then I'll do the other side. So there's no gap and no opening. Perfect. And we're going to let this sit for 24 hours in the fridge. And that's how you prep your pernil. So, from scratch, we made sofrito. We prepped the pernil, which is that piece of, that little guy you just saw. From there, we take this, put it in the fridge, and we'll make it tomorrow morning. We'll cook it for 6 hours. When I wake up, I'll put it on, and then I'll let it cook at 325 for 6 hours. That's how we do that. Next, we're making potatoes and sausage. Potatoes and sausage, potatoes and sausage, potatoes and sausage. We're gonna make Cajun sausage with all these potatoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus you. Nah, we're gonna put it instead. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. This will be a kitchen adventure like you guys have never seen. But before we can get started, we have to do some dishes. So I can now see the chat. I can talk to you guys. If you got any questions, any comments, concerns, talk to me, let me know. Thanks for hanging with me today. We're about to cook breakfast. I know it's noon, but I just woke up. I live a different life from most of you. It is currently 12:30 on the East Coast. Just washing out. I left actual chicken grease in here last night. So washing that out. Using the last bit of our oil this morning for our potatoes. I am a minimalist, so I don't have excess of anything usually. I have exactly what I need at all times. Nothing more, nothing less. Within reason. So there's that. Meanwhile, I suffer thinking about it. What do I think about? Suffer thinking about what is that, hibiscus? I suffer thinking about cleaning, my life. By the way, I will never buy this Ajax soap again. I think it smells awful. It's grapefruit. It doesn't smell good. I also tried a new scent on my detergent or my for my washer. It's not good. So here we are. Sorry, there's no music being played. There's rules against music in the background on YouTube. So I'm assuming you guys are all at work right now. Hopefully you can play your own music and I'm just background noise. I don't know what you guys got going on today. I guess Easter's on its way. I had to call my job today, my job in Arizona, let them know I won't be there. So I won't be making that. They asked me to start April 1st. That's not going to happen. It's nice and peaceful. All right. I don't like a lot of silence. True story. Silence is violence, they tell me. I've been reading sports stories all morning, trying to keep up with every school at their spring game. Or spring practice, spring football. Certain players are been messing up for the last month. I've also been doing all my retirement paperwork without the music. Yeah, I don't like silence. If there's anything you'll learn about me is I don't like silence in my house. Silence is stressful to me. And I know that sounds crazy, but I don't like solitude and silence. It stresses me out. I have this little drain catch so nothing goes down the drain. It caught a bunch of chicken grease, or chicken fat. All right, so next thing we gotta do is peel potatoes. And while we wait on the peeled potatoes, boring Y2, yeah, boring YouTube. That happens. So we're gonna be cooking in this pan, letting the oil heat up. the oil. I had to get on my toes to reach the top cabinet. I must not be 6 feet tall. As a joke, all the kids on TikTok think I'm not 6 feet tall. Yo, goat. Hey, what up, man? There's Paguno. Paguno in the house. Shout out to Paguno. So the next thing I'm doing is peeling potatoes. Right here. If I miss you saying what's up, I apologize. I can't look up and see it all the time. Chat's a little different in YouTube when you're using your phone. I can't always see it. I have to actually hit a button to make it appear. And then it goes away right away. That's one potato. One potato, two potato, three potato, four potato, five potato, six potato, more. I don't know how it goes. I don't know how it goes. Are you guys at work? You guys are at work watching me? So we're cutting potatoes. Nope. I don't slice potatoes anymore. I use this thing to slice potatoes. It just saves time and it makes all your potatoes the same size, which I like. I also don't have to use my cutting board as much like I used to. So I like that as well. My potato slices only cut my finger twice in my life. Which isn't too bad. Both times it hurt like hell. Any of you guys ever been hurt in the kitchen before? I've had some bad accidents recently on live. I cut my finger twice and I burned my hand. My hand is actually finally healing. Look, it healed perfectly. The scarring went away on my palm. I shouldn't say perfectly, it's still there, but you can't see it in passing. I'd have to point it out to you. But I burned my hand pretty good one day on a pan. I didn't know had a flame to it. Any of you guys ever been hurt in the kitchen? I hope not. I hope nothing too serious. I remember growing up, my dad had a friend. He's missing a thumb. Yes, I've read my previous comment. Oh, I didn't see it. Hold up. Sorry, I'm rocking it all. There's a truck outside. I'm assuming it's the trash truck. Today is Wednesday, right? Yeah, trash is getting picked up. Trash is getting picked up. Trash is getting picked up. My back is killing me already. Just so you guys know, I can't stand up and do anything without lower back pain. I can get through it, but it still sucks. I've actually been working on all my paperwork this morning with the Army, telling them about it. True story. All right, so potatoes are peeled. We don't need to clean up the peels just yet. We can get to that while the potatoes are cooking. I rinse them off, get all the dirt off them. They're here, they're done, they're ready. So once I wash them and rinse them, this is how I slice my potatoes. You guys will like this contraption here. If you don't have one, get one. It's like a salad slicer, I think it's what they call them. But this one, you can put these little trays in just like this. I have mine in here. Bear with me. Actually, don't like that. It looked dirty. I'm gonna wash it. These blades are pretty sharp. So, you cut your fingers before? Okay. Check this out. Boom. Won't cut your finger slicing those. Won't cut your finger slicing these. No, sir. Just out here making French fries. Just out here making French fries. There it is. So, got it all sliced. Got them all in the bowl here. Next thing, I only season them a certain way. It's not going to be anything fancy. I put a little bit of salt. I don't like a lot of salt on my food, so I put a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, nothing too crazy, and then mix them around a little bit. And then I do Lowry seasoning salt. Now I'm going to be adding sausage to my potatoes today, so the mixture of flavor is real. So they'll be flavored. And that's about good. So, all the potatoes are seasoned. Good. Boom, boom, boom. All the spices go back. I've been heating up the oil on low in the pan. So here's what it looks like. Boom, boom. And we're just gonna take all these potatoes, keep the fire low. You don't want to overcook them. You just want to keep them nice and soft. Eventually they'll get there. Cook them on a very low heat. Takes about, for me, it takes me like 20 minutes. I don't get it done right away. Keep them on a low heat and just let them simmer. In the meantime, that's okay. While those cook, I come back over here, and now I have time to clean everything out. So, when I was a kid, we used to throw them down the drain, the garbage disposal. Yeah, my pernil will be great. What up, Steve? So as a kid, we used to take potatoes and throw them down the garbage disposal and let it chop it up, the skins. And then one day, the sink was clogged. And my father was working on trying to get it unclogged. And while he was working on it, he pulled out all these potato skins from the damn drain. They had been in there for years. And I never forgot that. So now as an adult, I will never throw potato skins down the drain. True story. All right, I gotta rinse this off. This doesn't get that dirty. It can just take a slight rinse and it'll be good. This gets dirty. Yeah, they're in hot oil and they're covered. They're getting there. I keep it on the low heat. I don't like it on a high heat because I'm going to be cooking the sausage, after it and adding it when it's all done. So it's just a timing thing. I want them to all end at the same time. This we need to clean. Where I seasoned all the potatoes and sliced them. It is hot oil. I had it warming up before we started. Now what you consider hot oil and warm oil, I don't know, but oil's oil, heat's heat. The pan will get hot if it's on medium for the next 10 minutes. So while that's cooking, now we make the sausage. So this is what it looks like. Now this, we're going to turn the heat up a little bit. Take our pan. I have a ton of different pans. Like most people, I have an assortment of pans. I don't have a set of great pans. I have one really good one, and the rest are like whatever. So I have my go-to pan, the one that the potatoes are in. That's my favorite pan. And the rest of my pans are, I have one pot that's all right, but the rest of it would be exactly what you would expect from a single man. So we're gonna make this entire thing of sausage because I'm meal prepping these potatoes. Like, I'm not gonna eat all these potatoes today. They're gonna be a portion of it. So this will be added to the potatoes. So you just make the whole thing. Now, I chose mild. I usually do spicy. Spicy or mild, it all depends. But this one's mild. Whatever I'm in the mood for that day. So, now we just cook this sausage. Gotta just break it open. Just kind of spread it around. Cut it up in little pieces. You want to get it as flat as possible so it can cook all the way through. I'm sure you guys have done this with ground beef before, ground turkey, sausage, whatever. This isn't like making sausage links. For years, I only bought sausage links because that's what my parents taught me, Farmer John sausage links. And then I learned about this right here. Never heard of sofrito. Sofrito is so I didn't know about it my whole life. Sofrito is and if you go back to this stream and watch it from the beginning, I got it from my Puerto Rican wife, my first wife, my ex-wife. She taught me that you make this base to season everything. Like if you're gonna make rice, you take a spoon of sofrito, a tablespoon, and you just put it in the rice. And that's what you do. With a pack of sazon, and now your rice is orange and tastes amazing. That's exactly how it works. I'm sorry, I'm trying to loosen up this tripod and it's just not letting me. So I can adjust. Give me a second, y'all. Let's see if we can do it like this. There we go. Sorry about that. So my ex-wife, my first ex-wife, she taught me a ton about cooking from different cultures. And the biggest one was her Puerto Rican culture and Dominican culture. Now, I didn't take everything from her. I want to make this very clear. She makes plátanos. She makes plantains. She makes bananas in the morning. She makes pasteles, which is like, they're like tamales, but they're not corn-based. And she makes a ton of things that I really didn't care for. But when it came to some of her things, I was like, yo, I'm making that again. And as a matter of fact, I got married to a second woman. She's an amazing cook. But when it was time to get our divorce, and I started living on my own again and cooking on my own, I called my first ex-wife. And I said, hey, Ma, Oita, can you please listen to me? I need your help. I need you to teach me how you cooked all your meals. And she just laughed. She's like, oh, you miss me, don't you? And she's just joking. But in reality, she had to teach me the recipes that I needed. She was like, oh, to make rice, this is what you do. Oh, to make this is what you do. Now, I didn't need everything. I just wanted one or two, my favorite recipes. But as you get older, you know what you like. Do I want to be married to her again? No. But I wanted her food? Sure. So now my food is great. I had my father living with me recently. He lived with me for like 2 years. And while he lived with me, he would get up and make breakfast. And it just reminded me of what we used to make when we were kids. And some of the things we used to eat. And certain meals I hadn't made in many years, he reminded me. So I'm sure a lot of you guys do the same thing, I would hope. You get, reminded about about certain recipes and certain ways of cooking that you probably had in your younger years and now you don't have it anymore, and then you finally go back to it. Dominican and Boricua, we use sofrito. Yeah. Yep. I use sofrito for chicken. I use sofrito for pork chops. I use it for any meat that I'm going to slow cook or meat or anything. I use it as often as possible. I'll make a batch of sofrito and then keep it over for the duration of time. It's really important that you have some on hand It just adds flavor to everything. It's concentrated. I think, you know, I don't know if every culture has an equivalent, but I'm sure they do. But I kind of get worried when somebody says they're going to make rice and they don't have any sofrito. I get worried. I'm like, is this going to be your wild rice? Is this going to be something your pilaf? If you're making pilaf, you can leave me out of it. I don't need it. That's real. I don't need the pilaf. And I didn't grow up with this. I grew up eating Mexican food, so we used to eat a little different with our food. I never had sofrito growing up. It wasn't until I was about 23 years old, I think. I think that's when I got exposed to it. So only for like the last 20 years have I even known what it was. So that's how that goes. So I'm glad you can learn something. Sorry if I have a cough. I'm on some antibiotics trying to clear up my system. I had strep throat this weekend. I went to the emergency room because I knew something was wrong with my throat. And even when they did the rapid test and they were like, yeah, you came back negative for everything. You're fine. Go home and rest. And I was like, guys, listen, I have strep throat. I don't know if you guys know this, but I think I have strep. Doctor said, no, our rapid test came back. It was negative. You're good. Then I get a phone call Monday morning. And it's like, hey, just so you know, our cultures came back. You are positive for strep throat. We apologize. We need to come back and get your medication. I'm like, really, bro? Really? Oh, wait, that wasn't Monday. That was Friday. This is last week. My bad. I'm getting my days wrong. My complaint stands. The Army will just let you go home with something. They'll just be like, yeah, you're okay. Yeah, you're okay. Hang in there, buddy. Ibuprofen. They really gave me 800 milligrams of ibuprofen and said, just deal with your sore throat. And I was like, dude, I know there's something wrong. I can't swallow. Pause. So the sausage is almost cooked all the way. Very easy to cook your sausage. And we go to the potatoes. They're still cooking. Slowly but surely, they're still cooking. Turn the heat up just slightly. Let that go. Sorry. There you go. And is there anything else that I should be cooking? You guys want to teach me how to cook? I want to learn how to make lasagna. I've never done it. I want to learn. I want to make my own lasagna from scratch. I've never even looked into it, like how it's done. I know my ex-wife was able to do it. That's something I've always dreamed of because, you know, I got to go to Olive Garden to get it. Yeah, I said it, Olive Garden. You guys don't mess with Olive Garden? I mess with Olive Garden. Only crab I'm eating, Red Lobster. Yes, I'm that guy. I'm at these establishments. I'm the reason they're in business. I'm the reason they exist. I don't go to Applebee's for apples, though. All right, so the sausage is here. You teach me how to make good lasagna. Here we go. Just mix it into the potatoes. Just mix it into the potatoes. Didn't have to even drain it. It's okay. Mixing it into the potatoes. Bring up the heat to the potatoes just a slab. So we're going to keep that grease in the pan because I'm going to make eggs in this pan. And I like eggs with additional flavors. So we're going to actually keep the sausage grease in here. It's not much. It's not much. We're going to add butter. Excuse me for a second. That's a little mess on the stove. Let me grab the butter. Let me grab the butter. We're still using this stick of butter. We're not all out yet. We're not all out. Before we do that, though, I got to open the eggs. I have 5 dozen eggs I have not opened yet. Here we go. It's like Christmas when you open these things. Here. Anybody else with me on this? Anybody else with me on this? Oh, buddy. I got 5 dozen eggs. They say I'm wealthy. When you're eating like this, you gotta be wealthy, man. Eggs are expensive. Oh, the price went down. They're reasonably priced now. Give me a second. Load these back in the fridge. One. I'm gonna be making 5 eggs today, like usual. I always make 5 eggs. I make 5 eggs because that's what I budget for. I know that when I buy one of these packs, it's good for 12 days, 2 weeks, because I skipped 2 days. So 14 days, 12 days of eggs. So I buy these twice a month, so I can keep track of what I'm buying. Just going outside when we get a chance. And we're back. So, back to the eggs. So the way we're gonna do this, if you guys can see the bottom of your page, is we got the heat on kind of high, not too high, but good enough. First thing we're gonna do is we do have some grease in the pan, which is not a problem. I like grease. I love the movie Grease. But this stick of butter, we're gonna sit here and we're about to just knock off some pieces to it. I don't care. That's what it's gonna look like. The pan's really hot. We did get some paper in here by accident, wax paper. Let's go into the trash. All right. So, try to crack these eggs in succession as fast as we can before we throw the trash out. Excuse me as the bag got loose. Ash is making a cameo appearance. She wants some yolk. She wants something to fall. Anything. He said, Dad, can anything fall? She's at my feet rubbing in. Watch Omni videos. Oh, okay. Sofrito. Yeah, those ladies will show you. I didn't chop anything up. Am I a real sofrito maker? I don't know. Mine tastes delicious. I was being lazy. I used both bottles. I didn't even make it from scratch. Boom, boom. So, we got our eggs. I'm gonna season them real quick. Just a little bit. Nothing big. So I always make scrambled eggs because I make a skillet. So I am gonna break the yolk up. I don't even try to make over easy eggs. They're gonna be a different color because I made them in the sausage grease. That doesn't bother me. If you're worried about the color of your eggs or mixing them in flavor, you probably don't want to be eating with me. My eggs are gonna be different colored because they're gonna be mixed in bacon juice, sausage juice. I went from 6 to 5. Yeah, I'm budgeting. I'm also watching my weight. Used to eat 6 eggs, now it's 5. Yep. I've been doing that since January. That 1 egg makes a difference every day. Don't believe me? Try telling yourself you're gonna eat 1 egg for breakfast every morning and then skip it. Tell me that 1 egg wouldn't make a difference. Think about what I'm saying. All right, so eggs are made. I usually don't like overcooking my eggs. I like to keep them wet. Usually from the unmelted butter. So, these eggs are done. They're waiting to add, and that's actually my meal for the day. So I add them into a bowl, like so. What an epic move from me. So those eggs are sitting to get the potatoes and sausage added, which by the way, I'm cooking over here. Got them cooking pretty good. Mixing them up. Still got that heat on low. Next, we're gonna warm up our tortillas, but we gotta use a special pan for that. While we wait for that pan to get a little bit of heat going, baby girl is making a cameo appearance. While we wait for that pan to get a little bit of heat going, we come over here and get ready to do the dishes. While we wait for the water to heat up, throw out the cardboard. Yep. Good girl. Good listening, Mom. I didn't know it was raining outside. Good girl. So it is raining outside. All right, so while that pan heats up and we get ready to make our 3 tortillas, we do the dishes. Because we never want to have to do dishes on a full stomach. So before we eat, we do dishes. Shout out to you guys. Usually I'd be slicing an avocado. I don't have any today, and I haven't gone to the grocery store recently. I haven't really left the house. All right, so here we go. Now, baby girl's mad. Make sure the pan's really hot. It is. Relax, mama. Relax, beautiful. Trying to defend me. Trying to fight for my honor. Next thing we're gonna do is warm up these tortillas. Tortilla land tortillas. They are raw dough, ready to cook tortillas. They take a little bit longer than your normal tortillas to make, but they are worlds better. They taste like homemade tortillas. When you go to the supermarket and you want to buy them, you have to go to the cheese section. They're kept where the cheese in the refrigerated section is. They are not near the bread. You will not find them near the bread. These are raw dough. Right next to the, so I've seen them in Walmart, right next to the chorizo and the cheese. That's where these tortillas are kept. Chorizo and cheese and tortillas all go together. Fresh, ready to cook. When you cook these, you want to have like a fork nearby. You want a fork, because they get these air pockets, and you got to poke those pockets open, or else they'll just burn in certain spots. It's just the way they cook. Poke a hole in the air pocket. It'll keep them even. You'll see it starts levitating. You just poke it. Nothing comes close to these tortillas. Literally nothing. In the meantime, I'm getting my strainer out. I have multiple strainers, but this is my favorite one. It is plastic. It extends. I can then put it in the sink with its two arms. It looks like this. I'm getting ready to drain the potatoes. So I put it out here like this with the potatoes and the sausage. It's important. It's important. All right, so the tortillas are cooking. Pretty good. Do you want them to change color? I don't mind a little bit of burn marks on them. If you don't have the right amount of heat, they won't cook properly. The dough will start to change color, which is good. You gotta let them cook for a little bit. You want a high heat pan, but not too high. So these tortillas are like homemade tortillas, making from the dough themselves. I will not eat any other tortillas. I just can't do it. I don't care if it's Mission, Banderita. I don't care what it is, where you get it. If it's not the raw dough from Tortilla Land, I don't want it. I'll let you know now. You see these bubbles? You just poke them. Keep your fork on standby. It'll keep it flat, knock all the air bubbles out, and they'll keep cooking properly. Flip it over one more time. Once again, you'll see it start to rise. Different spots, poke it, knock it down. Keep it cooking evenly. That's good. And I'll flip it one more time just for good measure. And I can see the heat escaping it. No problem. Boom. And the last one here, the pan's getting really hot. That's okay. Boom, 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 boom. Ooh, I can feel it cooking underneath there. It's hot, bro. This is why I'm hot. This is why I'm hot. You hate because you fly. You hate because I'm fly. You mad that you not? I don't remember that song. Jim Jones? Was it Jim Jones? I just know when it came on, I would leave the dance floor. I'd be like, yo, you thirsty, man? Let's get off this dance floor. They're about to play Superman. Ooh, and ooh. I'm out of here, bro. This ain't dancing. These are idiots jumping around. This ain't dancing. Ooh, see it bubbling? Poke this board down, poke this board down, poke this board down, poke. All right. So that's all done. One thing you need to be careful with is that pan is extremely hot. That's the one that burned me because I kept it on the stove and didn't realize how hot it was. All right, so now that that's all done, gonna check on the potatoes one last time before we start draining these boys. Straining these boys. Straining, draining. Pause. Yeah, they look good and ready to go. I bet. Yeah, they're too good. They're too good. So, we come over here. Draining. While they drain, and I usually move them around and make sure to get all the grease out. And while that happens, we wash the dishes. Might burn my hand. This might burn my hand. Still really hot. Get all the grease out. Woo. Hot. How mama? All right. all the dishes are done with the exception of the strainer. And that's how you want to do, that's how you want to cook, guys. I've been at this for what, 55 minutes now. I prepped sofrito. I made enough food for the week. I made my breakfast. Prepped the eggs and potatoes. I'm sorry, potatoes and sausage. And now, you just gotta put it in a container to store it. After we eat it. So we have this little container here. We have my bowl that I'll be eating my 5 potatoes with. So what I do is I usually come in here and scoop in. I know I only eat this bowl amount. This is like those bowls from like Chipotle or Diablo's. We have Diablo's here locally, but you know what the deal is. That's my serving size, one of these prep bowls. So it's eggs, potatoes, and sausage with my 3 tortillas. And then the rest of this that you see here, it just goes in this container. So that way, for the rest of the week, I just got to make 5 eggs in the morning. And I already have my potatoes and sausage made. So that's how this goes. And that's how I stay prepped for the whole week. Cook once a day or once a week and you have all the food you need. At least the staple of your morning breakfast will be done. And we're all set. Let that cool for a little bit while I clean this. I do use a lot of soap on everything. Just how I get down. I don't care. I think soap's fairly cheap. You want to have everything super clean, so things get clean. If you guys got any questions, I say you go back, follow my recipes, write down all the ingredients I use, try to reduplicate what I'm doing, and you'll see, man. You do it one time, you'll be like, oh my goodness, I don't need to be out eating anywhere. I need to be eating at home with Rico. Well, not with me, like me. Huge difference. Eating at home like me. So, usually this food can cool down, but because they have locks, it's already sealed and it's good. The top won't pop off. It's okay. Do it all the time. So let me show you guys something. So when you look at me and you see me prepping my food, you might think I have no food in my fridge. But that's chicken. That's sofrito for the next month. There's the meat I just made, the potatoes and meat. Potatoes and sausage. There's 60 eggs. That's better than enough meat for a whole week. And then more tortillas. And then I have bottled water in the back there. You just can't see them. They're all hidden in the back behind the trays. But that's enough food for me, guys. When I want to eat differently, I do have some frozen meat. And I do have a ton of drumsticks down there, like chicken drumsticks that I can make at any moment in time. But this is how a single man lives. But I have no complaints. So, I'm about to conclude this. And about to eat my food. So you freeze some for the next week or so. I don't freeze any chicken outside of the drumsticks. I also have rice on the ready right here, guys. I make a ton of rice. So anytime I want to make some rice, I just put a spoonful of sofrito, a packet of sazon, and I eat my rice. It takes me 20 minutes to make me a batch of rice in the rice cooker. And you don't have to worry about how long you're going to cook it. You don't have to worry about how much water you're going to add. It does it all for you. So, I mean, it's pretty dummy proof. So, you can be a good cook too. Anyways, took me 1 hour. Peace, y'all.